Hi there guys, this is the Average Joe and today we're going to make a review of this Eddison Stainless shave blade. Well, what can I tell you from the beginning about this Eddison blade? First of all, the fact that I couldn't find much information about it, and actually I've never heard about this blade before. I just randomly picked it from my 120 something sample pack. I'm going to put a link here to a video where I presented that sample pack. Now, the limited information I could find about this blade is, first of all, this is a blade that is made in Israel, and on both Amazon and on more reputable sellers' websites, I've seen that many people say that this is a Persona Eddison blade. Now, I know Persona has the only blade factory in Israel, but I also know that that factory simply makes blades for other companies and just brand it like that, without any kind of association with Persona. I believe this is the case, and that this Eddison blade is made in the same factory, but that it doesn't have any. I couldn't find any kind of official association between Persona and the Eddison blade. Also, I found it on Amazon for $10.95 for 20 blades. That makes it something like 55 cents a blade. And from what I read online, this blade, this Eddison Stainless blade, seems to be made more like for the local Israeli market, and I don't know what that tells you, but I know due to the religion in the area, not many people shave. No, I'm just kidding. One thing that kind of scares me is the fact that the limited reviews I could find about it say that this is a very bad blade. But let me show it to you. I'm going to use this blade in my Mingshi 2000 adjustable razor. I've made a review on it. I'm going to put it here. And yeah, that's most of it. Let's open the blade. So the blade comes like this. It is a single wrapper blade, and you know I like it when it's a double wrapper, because I live with the impression that the maker of the blade puts more accent into the finishing details. And this is the actual Eddison blade, the Eddison Stainless blade. Now let's just put it in the Mingshi 2000 razor. It's not too thick, it's not too thin. It's a normal thickness blade. And I'm going to start my review on setting number 3, work my way up from there and see how it feels in a more mild or a more aggressive razor. Now let's lather up and see how this goes. Now guys, this was my first pass with the Eddison blade, with the Eddison Stainless Blade, and I usually try to start with my Mingxi 2000 razor at setting number 3 and work my way up to see how the blade behaves in a more aggressive razor, because I like a more aggressive razor. But in the case of this blade, on setting number 3, I don't know how to put it, it was grabby. So I started working my way down, and I got as far as setting number 1 here. Yeah, it did focus there. And what can I tell you? First of all, I'm disappointed, but on a very mild razor, it does a decent job. Now I'm going to get on with my second pass and tell you about the full experience at the end. Now there guys, this was my second pass with the Eddison Stainless Blade, and as you can see, in the end I was left with a almost baby smooth face. But it's not the worst blade I've shaved with. By far it's not the worst blade, but I can't say I would recommend this blade. Now, I've done my second pass on setting number 2. Setting number 2 on the Mingxi 2000 razor is a very mild setting. Extremely mild. I mean, it barely shows any blade. It has a bit of a gap, but it doesn't have too much blade exposure, as you can see. It's extremely mild. Using the Eddison Stainless Blade, in anything more aggressive than that, I can understand why it got so many negative reviews. I wouldn't recommend buying this blade unless you're maybe in a pinch, or unless you want to have a blade that buy it as a novelty if you want, because it's a blade that mostly nobody heard about, and it seems to be a good reason for that. Now, as sharpness, it didn't feel to be very sharp. It was barely sharp enough to do the job, but in the end, on a very mild setting, it was comfortable. Now, on such a mild setting, probably everything would be comfortable. Just my 2 cents. Yeah, so if you want to buy it as a novelty, or buy it if you plan to use it only in the most extremely mild razors. Otherwise, it will leave to be desired. On setting number 3, I felt it pulling very hard on my face, and it was very unpleasant. When I started my first pass, I thought that it was gonna be one of my worst shaves ever. But in the end it worked out. Now, if this was helpful, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that little bell button if you want to receive further notifications. Thank you, and see you next time, guys.